Y'all are muted.
Thank you.
Okay, since it's 6 o'clock, we're gonna go ahead and call to order. So we'll start with a roll call. Let's see, I guess I'll just start with our newest commissioner, one of our two newest commissioners. Go ahead.
Dave Shipley, present.
I'm at home.
Greg Montgomery. Kevin Wyckoff.
Jim Keough, and with us on Zoom.
Kimberly Getz.
Okay. So that definitely gives us a quorum for the evening. So then I've asked Kevin to go ahead and read the land acknowledgement for us.
We, the city of Lacey, are on the ancestral land of the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek, including the Nisqually Indian tribe and Squaxin Island tribe. We acknowledge and remember those tribal people not recognized today who were absorbed or relocated into other tribes for survival. We recognize the ancestors and their descendants who are still here. We recognize and respect the tribal people of the Treaty of Medicine Creek as the traditional stewards of this land since time immemorial, and their role today in taking care of these lands in perpetuity. We recognize and have the responsibility to call attention to the histories of dispossession, forced removal, and abridged treaty rights that allowed our nation, state, and city to develop as they have today. We recommend the community members read the Medicine Creek Treaty of 1854.
Thank you, Kevin. And as you probably noticed, we have a fairly busy agenda this evening. Is there anything anybody wants to suggest, add, or change? Hearing no suggestions, I will welcome a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Hearing no opposition and everybody saying approved, we have approved the agenda. Have you had a chance to review the minutes from last month's meeting? And this probably most applies to those of you who were at last month's meeting. Does anybody have any changes or suggestions of changes that they'd like to be making? Hearing none, I will welcome a motion to approve the meeting minutes from October 15th.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have anybody who signed in for public comment? Nope. Okay. So we have two new commissioners. I welcome Gary and David to give us a little bit of background, just so people know who you are and what your interest is in being with us. And you don't have to go long, but it'd be helpful to hear a little bit from each of you. So.
I went for it to city council. You go first.
My name is Gary Montgomery. I am a GIS analyst for the city of Lacey. So this is not my first time in this room. My undergraduacy was in cultural resource management, and I spent some time as a contract archaeologist, and I grew up kind of around museums. Some people are army brats, and I was a museum brat. My dad worked for the federal government as a museum curator all over, like every 7 years, a new museum. So this felt like the right place and the right time to put whatever historic preservation and cultural resource management skills I've got to service in the community.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, my background is history teacher, English teacher, and many other subjects. I taught for 43 years. I was a substitute for 10. I went to Capital High School as a teacher, so I'm glad to see a student here. And you were introduced at the last meeting, if I remember correctly. My background is I've been on, this is my 4th historic commission to be on. My first one is on Thurston County, and I was chair for that for 28 years. And I was on the Olympia Heritage Commission for about 10. I was also and currently on the Tumwater Historic Commission and chair of that, and I've been on that for about 15 years. So I was telling her in the orientation that the other day I figured out how many meetings I chaired, and I think it's over 300 or something like that. But it's a real delight to be on the Lacey Historic Commission. Just moved here about a year and a half ago to senior housing and look forward to learning more about Lacey history and hopefully contribute whatever background and what have you that I might have is similar to what Gary was doing as well.
And just, I think it probably is helpful for each of us to talk, say just a little bit of how we got here, because I think it's helpful to kind of get the linkages here. So let's see, do you want to start with us, Kimberly, or do you want to leave it to one of us to kick it off?
Sure. I was originally voluntold by my former college roommate, Erin Quindelcho. So that's how I ended up here.
Yeah.
I guess I just moved down here from Olympia. I was a prosecutor, or previous to that, for about 40 years anyway. And when we moved out here, we moved into the edge of Olympia, I guess, and they moved us into this town, into Lacey, and I thought it'd be helpful to be involved, and I really enjoyed being on this committee. I would have, you know, it's been well worth my time. I've enjoyed the people to work with. Just good evenings.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, professionally, I'm the GIS coordinator for Lakewood Water District, but I've moved to Lacey in 2020, and so I'm just kind of looking for opportunities to give back to the community and get involved in things that aren't my office and my commute. So been here since I guess 2021.
My name is Avani. I'm a student at Timberline High School. I've been living here since I was 1, so pretty familiar with Lacey. And I'm really interested in history, so that's why I'm here to learn.
I have just this weird set of things. I wasn't ever in history per se, but my family had a legend about the history of our family inside the country, which turned out to be false. I've discovered that as I've done genealogy. There was one member of the family about 4 generations ago who was really good at tall tales. And I finally figured that out after looking at enough old newspaper articles. My wife and I, when we first met each other, one of the first things we went out on a date doing was looking at old houses in Tacoma. And we had a great time one Saturday, Sunday afternoon doing that. And that was one common that we got into. We ended up researching the house that we lived in. I have worked in neighborhood improvement, economic development, and insurance. And the thing that I learned all the way along was that if you could learn the history, some of the history background, you oftentimes could understand why both people had differences of opinion about what was going on, and sometimes could figure out why stuff was the way it is and what you might be able to do to change it. So I have found that continuously through my career, and now I'm retired and still find myself looking at things like genealogy and old newspaper reports, and have been involved in and volunteering with the museum. So thank you all.
You're welcome.
So let's go ahead and
Sorry.
Go ahead.
To interrupt, I was just gonna say, we are missing one commissioner, Commissioner Tulani.
Right.
So just to point out that there is one other member that you'll meet.
So I think we're ready for Aaron to start up on the historic property inventory, which, as you noted, it's got a whole lot of pages. If you
Yeah, I'm really excited to share the historic property inventory with you since it's been a project many years in the making. So just to start out, as a reminder, one of the responsibilities of the commission is to maintain a comprehensive inventory of historic resources within the city limits of Lacey. That doesn't mean that we have to include every single property that's over 50 years old, which is good because that's a few thousand and that's a lot. So the list is in your packet. I do also have my spreadsheet if anyone wants to look at anything, but to share with you the criteria that I use for what to put on there. So we had like a bunch of different lists in different places, and so I kind of combined everything together. But the criteria I used was that the property must be 50 years old, of course. And then it must have had a historic property inventory form or survey completed. And there's two levels of that. One is a reconnaissance level and one is an intensive level. The reconnaissance level is meant to be like a first look at a larger group of resources, and you record basic information and only what you can see from the outside. And then an intensive inventory, or yeah, oh my gosh, no brain. An intensive survey is a deeper evaluation based on sound research, and it's evaluated against every one of the criteria for the National Register. Our list includes properties that are demolished, as is typical, because there could be archaeological resources below ground, and it's a part of the historic record. So, as of now, there are 343 properties on the inventory. 57 are potentially eligible for the historic register, and 115 are undetermined, and 95 have been demolished. The remainder are identified as ineligible. But a little caveat here, these evaluations have been done at varying levels of expertise and for varying reasons. And so I'm not going to just take those at face value. The evaluation needs to be evaluated. But that's also true for eligible properties, not just ineligible. So, and now I'm going to show you. Let's see. There we go. So our new commissioner, Gary Montgomery, is also a city GIS employee. And so he is the one who made this map for me, for us. So here's the legend.
Commissioner Getz has her hand raised.
Sorry.
Kimberly, do you have something you wanted to say? You need to turn on your mic.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between potentially eligible and undetermined?
So, potentially eligible means that they were identified actually as eligible, but I made it potentially because I didn't necessarily believe them. So it was actually, they were determined eligible in some way. So eventually that will be eligible. So undetermined is that they haven't been evaluated for eligibility at all. Some of the ones that have been marked as eligible maybe only had one or two criteria evaluated, or they didn't give any reasoning at all. And so, yeah. So as you can see here, on the map, most of the things are sort of centered here around this lower center area of Lacey, which I mean, there's a couple reasons for that. That's where most of our historic properties are. And that's also where, Lacey city limits started. So those are the earliest recorded properties that we have. And a lot of times historic property inventory forms are done for development purposes. So that's why there's a bunch along the college corridor, right? Because there was a big project to do that. And they make them all ineligible, and I have no idea if that's true or if they just want to develop it. It depends on who made the evaluation and what reasonings they gave. Look at my notes. Gary, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Not offhand. If I think it's something, I will pipe up.
Okay,
There's,
not to put you on the spot or anything.
there's a real cluster right below Wonderwood Park. What is that group?
It must be a development.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head, but that would be my guess.
Okay.
Train station? Maybe?
The train station is down here.
No, it's train, oh, okay.
But it also highlights that, you know, I mean, there is a lot of new development up here, but there's also some that aren't so new, so. I definitely am interested in getting feedback on the map. This is something that I would like to put onto our website. So I'd love any comments on that. And then I thought I would share next steps. So this is just kind of an introduction. We'll continue on throughout the year, but there's still some maintenance that needs to be done on the list itself. I got pretty close, but there are a small number of properties that I couldn't evaluate just from my armchair research. They're going to require a drive out to the site to determine if buildings are still there or gone. I mean, that's one of the things that happened a lot was, you know, I'd go and I'd look up a property and I'd pull up Google Maps and, oh, there's an empty lot there. I wonder if that's been demolished. And vice versa. I've had properties that were marked as demolished that were like, I'm pretty sure that's still there, folks. So that's why everything has to be checked. And then another thing that has to be checked, as I've mentioned already, is the eligibility determinations. And then I want to update the state database called Wizard with corrections based on what we found. I'd also like to do some basic research on determining previous owners on potentially eligible properties, because I think that's often something that's overlooked is the important history. Like one of the houses that I found when I was evaluating the inventory list was it was a property that's been pretty heavily modified, but the people who live in it are Lisa, I can't think of their names, Lisa Brodoff and I can't think of their names, but anyway, these two women did some, they had a case, we had a history talk on them. They did a landmark case for adoption of children by a same-sex couple. And it was adopted throughout the nation. And I think that's very significant. And so I think their house could be considered significant because of the history, even if the architecture doesn't meet the standard.
Kimberly, you have a question?
What?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just wondering, since you have the urban growth area marked on the map, is there any reason to do reviews in the urban growth area?
I mean, the main reason is because eventually they'll be in Lacey, right?
Right.
I mean, probably it's better to do things you know are going to be, but like there's been a whole bunch of annexation since I've been here.
Mhm.
Like, you know, a whole bunch. So yeah, it's a good fact because you know, eventually they're going to be in our domain. Right now, sorry, they're in Thurston County's domain. And there are a few in our urban growth area. that are already have an inventory, but they're not on our inventory.
Thanks.
And then next after getting the list, not necessarily after, but getting the list more complete is one thing. And then a second thing is obviously the reason why we're doing this is to find properties that might be appropriate to add to the register. So kind of strategizing how we might do that. And then third is determining how we're going to continue to upkeep the inventory, like Kim just mentioned. What are our next surveys we need to do to kind of like see what else should be on the inventory that we should be keeping track of. I mean, you drive around and sometimes you see a cool house or whatever. Like there's a house on Lake Lois that I think should be on there, but probably we should have some sort of a, systematic, or at least reasoning.
Aaron, I'm hearing a future committee or a near future committee to be looking at this with you?
I mean, possibly. I hadn't quite gotten that far, so yeah.
I know we have it on the list. We have not the committee, but we have this general work on our plan for the work plan, and we could discuss that further then, or we could talk about it now. But I guess I'm just trying to test, is that something that you see having a committee that to advise or work with you on?
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't really got as far as thinking about a committee, but I had thought about, letting Kevin and Gary go crazy.
Yeah, and I'll chime in. I think we would just need to look at what our capacity, Aaron's
Sure.
capacity. I think that this is something that has been on the work plan for a little while, and something we're very excited to get to this stage. And Aaron's done a lot of really heavy lifting along with Gary to get this starting point, right? And so for sure
And
need to
some
flesh it out.
volunteers.
And so that's, I think the original notion was, yeah, get it to this point and then be able to have volunteer help to be able to progress it.
So in the interest of time for tonight's packed meeting, maybe we put a pin in it there and revisit it in the future and have a larger discussion about where we want to go from here.
Yeah, and when we get to the discussion about the work plan, we could throw in a couple of steps we think might be useful.
Yeah, true. I think I put something on there as it is. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right now we just, I think, have it as a subject matter. But we might want to put a couple of steps we want to actually shoot for getting to. That make sense?
Yeah.
Do other people have questions of Aaron about the inventory as it stands?
Like most commissions, it needs to be done. And it's a tough job to do.
Oh, I get it. We actually had a house on the historic register in Olympia where we did the research, we figured it out, spent time figuring out what could be done and couldn't be done. It took time.
And every year you get another house, went from year number 49 to number 50.
Right.
So
Right.
it goes on and on.
Yeah. There's a kind of rolling horizon.
Are there very many Native Americans, indigenous sites on the register?
I don't know. I haven't gotten access to the archaeology part of the
Okay.
map. I could. I'm eligible to be. I just haven't. I definitely know there's some potential ones, like at the Jacob Smith house.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would want from us right now, or does anybody have any further questions?
Just if there's any feedback for the list or the map or thoughts. Otherwise, we'll put it on a future agenda and have a conversation about next steps.
Okay, looks like we have a general nod of agreement in that regard. Thank you, Aaron. I think you're up again for the next part, which is the Bowker House.
Yeah, just a sec, let me it's open. Okay. Um, so as we discussed last month, tonight you're going to be evaluating the special tax valuation application submitted by the property owner of the Bowker House. Last month, I gave you all an introduction to the special tax valuation program, the laws behind it, and the process that we're required to follow. And in my staff report that was in your packets, I provided my recommendation after a careful review of the materials provided by the property owner, as well as after meeting with state officials and our finance department to make sure that I was doing things correctly, since it's my first time doing this. But as you're aware, we're still missing a few pieces of the puzzle. I asked Krista to provide me with the documents that we need or a status update. I'm trying to work with her as much as possible since it's been a very challenging experience for her. Excuse me. She has been out of town due to a personal emergency, but I heard from her yesterday, and she is going to work with her vendors to see if she can come up with the documentation necessary for those last 4 items. So my recommendation that's in the staff report still stands. And I put the motion that I propose in there, but at this point we can look at or go through anything that you want to discuss regarding that.
What are the primary changes, Aaron, that have occurred since the last time we talked?
Yeah, let me open my thing here. So, I confirmed that the patio, which is this right here, is not eligible, which is what I thought as well. I can pull up pictures if you want to, but basically it's not included in the building envelope, and there was no patio historically. There was a garage driveway pad, concrete, but I don't think that's historic to the time period that we're talking about anyway. So I talked it over with some people from the state, and they agreed with me. But that contract included stairs going from the outside, and you need stairs to be able to have a structurally sound building. So I pulled out the stairs and marked them as eligible. Then there were some things that they felt that could be eligible that I didn't think was, but it just depends on for the documentation. So one is the waste disposal. So, I mean, as a general rule, waste disposal doesn't count, but if you're doing a project and you have a bunch of debris, yeah, that can be considered part of your capital expenses, right? And then another one, same idea, is the roof cleaning. That can be considered an eligible expense. But we don't have, all we have is a canceled check for that, so I need something from the vendor saying that they did that, and then I also, and when, and then I also need something, no, that one, that's all I need for that. And then, same thing for the waste disposal. all she had was an email receipt that didn't itemize what it was for, so I need that plus her to tell me what the project it was for. And then the other thing was this last payment to the contractor. So when she got a big loan from our mortgage company to do this project, and it was specialized because she was improving something that was considered oh, I can't think of the word, but I think it was HUD or something like that. Anyway, so she had to have a final inspection and make some final changes based on their inspector plus City of Lacey things. So these sort of happened later and in 2023, making them eligible for this. But so she has a spreadsheet that lists what the items are, but one category, which is very large, which is most of it, it says miscellaneous, and miscellaneous is not enough of a description for finance to agree with it. So I need a little more documentation on what that's for. I think, was that everything? 1, 2. Oh, and then this interior windows, it's definitely an eligible item, but I need to know, we need to have something more than a canceled check. We need to have something from the vendor saying what they did and when. That is, if I'm remembering correctly, the things that have changed.
Okay,
So because of that, if she comes up with those documentations for at least the 3 big ones, the target is 14,275, and that brings her to 15,886. So she would be eligible.
okay. So when does she need to have that into you?
So I haven't given her a date yet. I want to give her as much leeway as possible if you guys are okay with that, since it's been difficult. But I think that we'll need to give her a deadline that's in time for us to be able to prepare for the council meeting. I mean, as
Yeah.
long as we get that documentation.
I was just gonna add, we are on the agenda for December 2nd for council.
Okay,
Pending your discussion here, just because of the timeline. This all has to be done before the end of the year.
right, right.
And so
is that
yeah.
the last council meeting that she?
It's not the last one, but it's one that's in December.
Okay.
There's 2 in December, so.
So with our timeline to act, do we need to maybe make a vote tonight and then with the caveat that she gets that additional documentation?
Yeah, that's my proposal. I put the motion in the staff report basically to recommend to council that they approve it with the contingency or contingent on that documentation being provided and being deemed to be what we need.
Could we just tell her now what we want, so she'll have it, be able to work on it?
I have told her already.
Yeah, I think what we have to be able to do is we have to approve it so that it can be approved by the council. But and we can do an approval contingent on her supplying the necessary paperwork. But and we probably would want to set up some type of time frame.
Yeah, I was just looking at calendar. I mean, it probably had to be if that's a Tuesday council meeting, they probably had to be by the Friday before that, which is the day after Thanksgiving, so. Awful for trying to meet that kind of deadline, but that does seem reasonable.
Just out of curiosity, could the motion to putting this house, the tax valuation, be delayed to December 2 meeting to include what we're looking at at the present time, with the addition possibly of the additional contingency issues as well?
She's right now hasn't crossed the line to qualify for the real estate tax break that occurs.
Okay.
Unless she gets these other pieces in, that's the challenge we have right at the moment. And if she gets those in, then she does cross that line. That's kind of, unfortunately, just for background purposes. Unfortunately, she missed the first, because you have a 2-year window, she missed the best window,
I know
which would have been
that, yeah.
submitted a year before.
Right.
So,
Does the city council have to approve this before December 31?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
yeah.
they have to prove, so the LMC says they have to approve it by December 31st, but in reality, it needs to be done before that so that I have time to execute the agreement and get certification to Thurston County, which also has to be there by the 31st.
And then the other issue is going to be a possible delay of the city council who needs more information or has a question.
That's why we did it, so that they would have another meeting just in case.
Understood.
Yeah, I was supposed to turn my staff report in for them yesterday, but it's already ready to go. I just haven't turned it in yet.
Do we have the motion that Aaron had suggested that, can we put it up on the screen?
Yep. 1 second here. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Share. Okay, so recommendation is option 1. And option 1 is right here. Well, let me show you all the options on the screen.
Yeah.
Aaron, on the proposed motion,
Yeah,
does that include the items that you found to be okay? And does that delete the items that you found probably not eligible?
yeah, so basically that spreadsheet that I just had up, it was the items in the eligible column. It's including all of those.
That you stated tonight as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
if I'm understanding correctly, yes. So they appear to be eligible items, so that doesn't seem to be in question unless you guys don't agree with that assessment. So all that we're sort of waiting on is appropriate documentation to go along with it.
I think you did a good job as far as itemizing. And when I read through it, it was a lot of reading. But I think what you found to be eligible and not eligible seemed to be appropriate.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I kind of felt like I was flailing for a little while.
I would second that, having looked through the file as well.
What's that?
I would second that, having read through the file as well, that I think they're appropriately categorized at this point. So does anybody, do we want to have any further discussion? Does somebody want to make a motion and then we'll have further discussion? How do we want to play this?
I don't mind making a motion.
Okay, let's start
May
there.
I read the one I see on the screen because I can't do it
Sure.
off my own head? My motion is to recommend to the city council they approve the Bowker House special valuation application and special valuation agreement contingent upon receipt of requested documents from the property owner.
Second.
Discussion?
I'll second that.
Could I suggest a one-word addition? Contingent upon timely receipt?
We could also add a date if you wanted.
Okay, either one.
Go ahead.
Is there a time, what would be a timely receipt at this point, Aaron?
I would say probably December 1. I mean, all I have to
Okay,
do is
so-
look at the documents and say, yep, yep, or nope.
So we could say contingent upon receipt of requested documents by December 1st. Does that tie your hands if we do that?
No.
Are you gonna be sick and be able to do that?
Yes, we can do it. I already
Excellent.
wrote my staff report for city council, so.
I will amend my motion to include the date of December 1 to obtain the requested documents from the property owner.
And I will amend my second.
Any further discussion? Should we take a vote? All in favor of the amended motion, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? I think you have a motion, Aaron.
Thank you very much. Jen, if you don't need me anymore, I think I may step out.
Yep, you're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Bye.
It's kind of fun making a motion. I don't usually get to do that.
And I know I said this the last meeting, but I'll say it again. Aaron has just done a tremendous amount of phenomenal work on this.
I'm terribly impressed. I went through trying to read all the little lines and all the money. The one that I can relate to this is that Thurston County had the same situation with the golf club, Capital City Golf Club out in whatever it's called, but out on Cooper Point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a building was designed by Wallop, and anybody's house designed by Wallop, it's a slam dunk. But we had to itemize that, and also there was a house nearby. And there's all kinds of things like new carpet, new refrigerator, and what have you. So it was really, reminds me of that situation. So Erin did a phenomenal job. She really did.
And it's tricky timing because we are trying to get that museum moved and make our final.
It's also tricky
Change
timing
there,
because
so-
of the lateness of the application.
Yeah, it's
That is
yeah.
problematic and
so unfortunate that she
And
didn't do it here
challenging.
before.
but
good for the property owner though. Tough on her.
She's done a tremendous amount of work on this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate she didn't get a nap in.
Yeah.
Earlier. Okay, well, I think we're ready to move on to the Historical Commission's accomplishments for 2025.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna bring this up on the screen. And actually, before I do that, so both of these items, D and E, the accomplishments and the work plan, they do have a star next to them, which means they're actionable items. And so, but you have options here because we can either discuss them today and then have final approval at the next meeting. Or if you all are comfortable doing it now, you can all take action tonight. I am curious, just as we get closer to the holidays, curious if folks are able to attend the December meeting. So it might be nice to have that conversation real quick so that we know what kind of time we have to work with.
Yeah, we have in the past canceled that December meeting.
Huh?
I think in the past, we've not had that December meeting.
We have, right, since so close to the holidays,
Yeah.
and so, it's kind of
Right now, it's gonna land on the 17th.
the 17th, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a highlight of my day, the only thing that's on the calendar. For now.
Other thoughts about that date? You guys are all good? You're good?
I'm currently available.
Okay.
So we're good.
I'm available.
Okay. All right, it sounds like there would be a quorum, so you do have the option if you don't want to take, if you're not ready to take action tonight on those items.
What would be the date on that, December 7th?
December 17th.
Pull up, start with the accomplishments. And this is in preparation for the joint historical commission city council meeting that we do annually. It's set for January 13th, and we do share this board's accomplishments and with the council, and then they do approve the work plan for the 2026 year. Draft accomplishments, here we go. Okay, well, hopefully you've all had a chance to take a look at these. Just a phenomenal amount of work in 2025, and this is my favorite time of the year to be able to really look at what you've done and really just appreciate, the work that has been done. We have a lot of projects that take a really long time, and it's really nice when we are able to get some across the finish line. So my intent wasn't to go line by line, but I will point out the historic kiosk at the Regional Athletic Complex. And then we're obviously working on this one right now, the special tax valuation for the Bowker House. Of course, this would get changed depending, well, on what happens.
We could say recommended to conditionally approve or.
Yeah, so this will actually, we have time to, I mean, you could approve it. And then just knowing that we will fill that.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true.
As to what actually happened. We had the historian of the year, John Jajic, the historic preservation assessments of Jacob Smith House, Long Lake House, McKinney Building, that was a big one. Foundation laid to submit the Jacob Smith House nomination to the Lacey Register of Historic Places. We've got summarized here the museum acquisitions that were added to our collections. We've got obviously what Erin reported out on tonight, the property inventory map. We've been, making updates to the website. A really big one is the move, obviously. And significant progress moving the research center. So we've had to focus really on the museum first, and then the research center will come next, be the next focus. And then just a few other noteworthy accomplishments here. But certainly open to comments, questions, edits.
Could you explain more what was going on with the Smith?
With the what?
How,
Jacob Smith.
Oh, Jacob Smith House?
Jacob Smith House. Could you explain what was done besides what it says there, foundation?
Oh, the foundation laid to submit the Jacob Smith House nomination. Yeah, so we had, gosh, it would have been, I'm trying to remember which meeting is that we had we hired a historic preservation consultant, and they provided a report, and in that report, and so it's in one of the past packets, but in that report, it showed that Jacob Smith House is eligible to be nominated.
Is it on the register?
It is not currently, but
Okay.
that's the next step would be to get it on there,
Gotcha.
which
Okay.
is one of the work plan items that we'll look at next. But yeah, it's one that was interestingly not on the register. So.
Can I give you a story?
Sure.
Thurston County was on a mission out in that general area, Chambers Prairie. And Shanna Stevenson, who was our staff person at the time, thought let's go on a side trip up to the top of the hill. And it's one of the few times I saw Shanna really distraught because the house was not being taken care of and it was getting rack and ruin because the agreement that the city had with the developers in the area were not being met.
Mm.
And I've never forgotten her expression, and I'm very pleased that the house was surrendered or saved and what have you, because it's absolutely a gorgeous location. And the large trees that look eastward, I believe, the gigantic things. I haven't been up there for a while, but they're a highlight because you could just see the reason why they built the house there and the farm is down below.
And it's a rental facility that we,
Yes.
lots of groups gather.
I've been
We have
there
classes
several
in the
times
grounds,
for-
and it's a beautiful.
For gatherings,
Yeah.
yes, it's an absolutely fantastic place. I would say it's a real plus and a feather in the hat of Lacey.
Thank you. Great.
And I don't know how many years ago that was, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that Aaron's actually done a presentation on that facility in the last, I think it was last year. maybe. So
Someplace
we've got lots of information on it.
at least 20 years back, because I know the office I was in used to hold staff retreats there.
Mhm.
So
And I don't remember the marker that's on, what would it be? Rainier Road. There's a marker that the county established, and I think Lacey took it over and is part of, the, housing development. It's around the golf course. Indian Summer is that the name of the place?
yeah,
Oh, for the blockhouse?
Pardon?
For the blockhouse?
Don't recall the blockhouse, but it was a house and you could see, you look at the property, it was turned into a kind of a small community park, I guess we'll call it. And there's a road that goes into Indian Summer, is that the right name? Indian Summer? And there's a gate there, but before you get to the gates on the right-hand side. And great location. And I believe it has something to do with chambers, if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure.
That does sound right. We can definitely get you in the information we have on that,
Okay.
if you're interested. Oh. Any other questions about the accomplishments? Are you feeling ready to make a motion tonight, or would you like to save that for the December meeting?
Do I get to make a motion?
sure.
I haven't developed motion for so long. I move that we accept the 2025 accomplishments that outlined by Jen for the Lacey Historical Mission for the last calendar year.
Second.
Any further discussion? Not, we could go ahead and approve those right now. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Any opposed? Sure. I think you've got that, Jen.
Thank you. And
And
then.
we know a guy that knows how to put a motion together too.
Really easily. It's been a while.
It's
Sounded
gonna be a
good.
habit for you.
Next time it's gonna be you.
Okay, so this is the draft work plan, 2026 work plan. And again, hopefully you've had a chance to take a look. And so what we have some different categories here. We've got the ongoing or annual items. Let's see this, I can probably make a little bit bigger. Nope. Ongoing or annual items, and so we do quarterly updates to the board. And we made a shift this year to where we're actually reporting out quarterly on all department items, not just items that pertain to the historical commission. And we're doing the same thing at the Parks Board. It's because we have the two commissions within our department, and so it's just kind of nice so that you get a holistic look at what's going on. Ongoing is the board's support of Lacey Museum programs, collections, and projects, reviewing museum collection acquisitions as they come up. There's a strategic plan, annual review, historic register
When do you
properties
do that?
design
When do you do
reviews.
the
The strategic plan, that one is normally, oh gosh, this is where I need Aaron to remind me of when we did that. I'll have to let you know.
Okay,
We did do this. Say again? We did do this last year. So we missed 2025. Okay, I'll need to check on that one.
okay.
Historic properties, design reviews, those are obviously as needed, right? Grant opportunities, those are as they come up. We always celebrate May as Lacey History Month. The commission approves the Ken Balsley Lacey Historian of the Year Award.
Has the city ever applied to Thurston County grant that the commission?
Yeah.
Okay,
We normally do, yeah.
okay, good.
Yes, we've been successful with those quite a bit in the past. And then the tribal updates and collaboration, this is something that falls under ongoing, because if there's an opportunity where we can get an update, then we want to make sure and take advantage of those opportunities. So those are the items that are kind of in the ongoing category. And then under special projects, we have the new Lacey Museum and Cultural Center. And this one we have updated with the note pending funding. The Lacey Depot historic photos. This is a project of getting some of the historic photos up in that the Lacey Depot, the replica that is over at Depot Park currently, and getting some neat photos, but they need to be super durable because they're in a indoor/outdoor facility. And so those would need to be up high where they're not, prone to vandalism, and something that's like very sturdy material. So this is in the Lacey Depot.
Okay,
Inside the replica. It's
Okay.
it's beautifully painted inside. And we thought it'd be really great to have some kind of educational components there
excellent.
that people can see while they're there. And then historic register properties map. You just got an update from Erin tonight, but it would be she's got here next step web page completed, and that the map is in progress. And then she has it assigned to Vice Chair Wyckoff and Commissioner Montgomery as far as working on that.
I would say
Commissioner, I know-
the other thing I think that was mentioned in the conversation was verification of properties. It sounds like.
So I was always kind of wonder about, maybe it makes sense to kind of broaden that a bit. I mean, I like your idea of kind of a subcommittee for that, but I mean, we have that listed as the map, but I think almost kind of before that's kind of the final product. The verification, kind of that process, kind of, I think it could be some good conversations to be had, not necessarily in this meeting, but how we're evaluating those properties.
Right.
Get that kind of process of the plan of really having a comprehensive list of historic properties. And then that would just kind of be an outgrowth. That would be part of the data collection. That would be how everything kind of comes together.
Yeah, but
I guess I'm trying to think of how
I was going to ask how you wanted to frame that.
How do I put that into one cell of an Excel sheet?
Or we can put it in a line in the cell.
Yeah, I guess maybe I almost should change that to say, develop historic properties process. The map could be an outgrowth of that, but kind of the develop that process.
So it's more of a process for identifying and.
Yeah, and what are what qualifies if like Erin mentioned the different levels of research, whether that just be the armchair versus really digging in and doing research, but kind of coming up with that rubric of how those are evaluated. and how to go about actually, filling in those blanks.
So perhaps changing this to historic register properties process. Should it say inventory?
Yeah, historic properties inventory process.
Inventory process.
Process.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Inventory. With the map being just a component of that work.
Right.
And then Chair Keough, to your earlier point, of kind of fleshing that out, that could be an agenda item and we
Right.
could dedicate a
More time.
portion of a meeting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
anticipate we're gonna figure that all
Yeah.
tonight, but it does seem like there's something more to be done.
yes.
And the Jacob Smith House interpretive marker,
Mhm.
did any progress been made on that?
So this one, no, this is still an item on the to-do list here.
Okay, if a marker went up, how much does it cost and how much does the city provide the historic commission as far as funds are concerned for projects?
Yeah, so that marker, that is something that's why it's so great when our museum curator is here. I'll have to circle back to you about that one. I can't recall off the top of my head if we already have funding committed for that one or not,
Okay,
so I need to check in with her.
In the past, I don't know what the cost is anymore, but it has been anywhere to the baked enamel type of sign. I don't know what signage you're thinking of. I know it'd be like $5,000, give or take, whatever it may be. And I was just curious on if the Historic Commission has a $5,000 budget for the year or $10,000 budget for the year. Or
Right.
$0.
Yeah, it's $0 for the year. However, we do budget requests as needed, and so I'd have to check in on the status of this one. I know that the Homan marker.
Well, Jen, do we then take requests for things like that to the city council?
So this one, so they actually, budget requests would go from me to city manager. And then it would either get incorporated into the next year's budget
And is it?
or not. And so, for example, the Holman Park interpretive marker, we've already requested for the 2026 budget and that one got approved. I have to remember where
Is there
the
a
funding was coming for this one particularly, so I just need to talk to Aaron.
time limit?
So,
Is there a time, is it a 1 year inclusion or a 2 year or?
oh, to be able to spend the funds?
Yes.
And so once the budget request is approved, if we aren't able to complete it within that year, we can ask for a
Then you have to-
carryover of funds
So I figured.
and then
okay.
we can still complete the project. Yeah. But as you know, with inflation, it gets tricky when we do that. So
Terrible.
yeah. Try to get those done. However, workload and capacity come into play as well. So yeah, so I need to check and get a reminder on the funding for this one.
And with your inventory, do you have an inventory of your historic signage that you have put up? Do you have that available? If you know what I mean by that. In other words, you said
Right.
there you have a historic sign at Lacey Recreation Center. Do you have an inventory of where some of those historic signs are posted? If I went to visit them.
Tell me more about the community center one.
Well, you have one there at Lacey. I thought you, oh, wait, I was misled. I thought I thought it was rack. And it's not, it's your, okay, I'll go back.
Oh, at the
You-
rack, we did a
Yeah.
kiosk.
okay.
And there's also an interpretive marker behind the community center, yes.
Right.
Okay,
on
Oh,
the pond.
yes, the Heinz.
thank you.
The Heinz, Fleetwood Heinz.
Yes.
So the key,
Yeah, so you're asking if there's. Say again?
The Woodland Trail.
Yes, and the Jackson family, yeah. So the question is there,
are there signs and if so, where?
Are there signs, and if so, where? Yes, okay,
Where?
I could relate to that.
okay. I don't believe there is a place on the website where you could check for that,
Okay.
but it's a great suggestion, so.
You're gonna send me
gonna write that down.
information, so what I want to do is go and see
Got it.
where you have these.
That sounds like a map layer that should
Pardon?
exist. That sounds like a map layer that should exist.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, I know a guy.
I do have a slide program on the Thurston County signs. And if you wanted to see all of them, it'd be a 200-mile trip inside the county.
So curious, Chair, if that is a special project we want to add at this time. So just, here's my caveat, being conscious of workload and capacity. We are a very small staff, and so to help the commission pull off the work plan does take, obviously staff oversight.
I thought
So
you had.
just bear in mind as
I
you're.
thought you had a 25-hour day.
I do wish.
I have one other question
Mhm.
in this particular area. Next year's the 60th anniversary for Lacey's Incorporation. And is there any plan currently to do something in that regard?
So I know that our communications division of city manager's office has brought that up, that that there could be some things. I can't give you a specific.
Okay, I was gonna sit down with John Halverson on Friday, see if the Historical Society had anything in their plans. But it seems like something to not miss if we can avoid it. Might even tie it in together with the map. Maybe the kind of thing you could unveil.
I would like to correct the chair. It can't possibly be the 60th because the 50th was only a year ago. And that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
I double checked this afternoon.
Oh, I refuse to accept that it cannot be possible.
You're in a time warp. Anyway, just a thought. It seems like that's something we want to at least have in our thoughts here. And we've got until fall. I mean, so.
At least somebody knows math.
Dad was an engineer, mom was a nurse, math. Comes with the territory.
In terms of other special projects, we already talked about Lacey Research Center and collections move. It's gonna be a very big focus area. Tour of museum sites. We want to get the Historic Commission out to not only the new museum space on 6th Ave, but also over to the Lacey Depot site. And so that's something we can arrange
is the
in
date
2026.
For the Historic Commission to tour.
Oh, yeah, so the tour, actually, let me see if we got it in our notes. Did we get it in our notes? Did we get time? Do you know? Great question. Oh, December 3rd is the date for the commission. I don't have a time yet, so we'll have to get that to you. And then, like I said, the home and park interpretive marker, that's something that was committed to the home and family. And we did, like I said, got an approved request for that. The Bowker House plaque is something that we need to provide to the Bowker House since it is on the historic register. And so that one, I believe, comes out of museum funds, but again, I'll have to check on that one. Under policies and procedures.
On the Bowker House plaque, does the city pay for the plaque?
That's what I believe.
Does the owner pay for the plaque?
The city pays for the plaque,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, good. Carter's confirming it is in our
Is there a
budget. Thank you,
certain
Carter.
style that you have?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
what I figured.
Yep.
I think I've seen it, but
And then under policies and procedures, some policy updates, museum policy, historical commission, CLG procedures, and historical commission policies. And wow, I see your name up here, Commissioner Getz.
It certainly is, isn't it?
I guess that's all on hiatus.
It is indeed, as you can see from the upcoming agenda and pending.
Under historic preservation, we have the Jacob Smith House local register nomination, the McKinney House parcel assessment, and identifying potential. Oh, here it is again, identify potential historic register properties.
Almost, yeah, that could almost be kind of folded in, I think, of that. With the mapping and then
Right.
identifying, but also the process of verifying and make that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think it should be under historic preservation, so we can combine. That's a good catch. We can combine those and put it down here.
It sounds like we have some changes to
Yeah.
look at.
Incorporate and then bring back.
Bring it back.
Motion to
Yep.
approve next month.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You talked about this December tour date. What was you talking about there?
Yeah,
Third.
December 3rd, we would like to get the historic commission over to the new museum space. I just don't know what time yet.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
You got any ideas? I mean, area, morning, afternoon? I hate to press you like that, but,
I don't know. I have to check in with staff.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I know they've been working with the schedule. We're trying to get historical commission and city council and our department staff in there before the public tours, which are now open, by the way, for registration. So if you have friends or family who want to go through it, they can go and register for the
You've got
for the
that
tour.
posted on the
But
website.
historical commission will be their own tour. So we will let you know as soon as we know the time.
Okay.
So thank you.
I'm registered with for my wife, so I get to do it twice.
Lucky you.
So sounds like with the historical commission work plan, we probably are coming back for another approval on that one.
Yep.
So that means that we move on to now officer nominations and elections for the coming year. Those are chair and vice chair, correct?
Yes, chair and vice chair, and I will take this one, since Aaron has peeled off. So yeah, we're just a reminder of these, kind of the roles. So the chair runs the meeting, as you saw with, Chair Keough, and meets with staff prior to go over the agenda, and that typically happens the Monday before the Wednesday meeting. And then the vice chair fills in if the chair isn't in attendance, and whoever is decided from this election would start serving at our first meeting in 2026. So that's kind of the way it works. And so basically I can walk you through the process. We'll do the chair and the vice chair separately. And we would need nominations first, and then we would move to the elections after that. So I can guide you all through that. So would anyone like to submit a nomination for chair? We don't need a formal motion for that.
I would like to nominate Kevin. I think Chair Keough has done a fabulous job, but I think we should be mixing it up every couple of terms. So if he is open to a nomination.
I'm open to that after 3 years as vice chair.
Okay, so the nominated person accept. Are there any other nominations?
I'm gonna nominate him again, so we could do it again. Is
Chair
that
Keough?
what we got?
Do you accept the nomination?
I would accept the nomination. I will note that I think my term ends in September.
There's no issues there.
Pardon me?
We were just vote again.
Okay, well, I'm just being clear about that.
Yeah.
What's
thank
the
you.
length of term? 1 year?
3 years. Oh, so I'm sorry, for the chair?
Chair.
Yeah, it's 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we do this every November.
Okay.
It's the exact election process.
I guess we're kind of open to, yeah, sometimes it's nominations at this meeting and then elections at the next, or if we can do it at this one, then that works as well.
Yes, that's true. You can do nominations today and if the board would like to consider it, we could, since we're having the December meeting, we could bring it back. Or you could handle it all today, so. So it sounds like Chair Keough would accept the nomination,
Right.
correct? Any other nominations? Okay, would you all like to move to the election or would you like to think about it?
You need a second.
Not for the
No.
nominations.
Not for the nominations, no.
Okay, I like that.
I just shouldn't wait a week or whatever it is, I mean, a month or whatever.
Are you missing one person tonight? That's what you're missing? Okay. I feel odd here because I don't know these two gentlemen except what I saw in a video
Yeah.
from last month. But I personally think that the election should be completed tonight and not delay it. I think you don't want to kick the football or kick the can down the road, but I couldn't care less one way or the other.
Anyone else thoughts?
Okay, so Ed, what you need to do, I would make a motion to delay the election of the two officers until the next meeting, which is either December 2nd or December 17th.
It's December 17th, not the second. Yeah, the second is the city council, yeah.
Okay,
Good, that's fine. I would,
did you make that motion?
I would second it for sure, or whatever I do with it.
Is there a second?
Sure.
She's seconded.
Do you want to take the?
So I guess we open for further discussion, but we're not to delay to December 17th or to do it now. So we're open for comments in that regard. Do you want to pitch?
Well, I've been very happy with your running of the committee, and if I got somebody doing a good job, I don't want to replace them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. The only thing I would suggest is kind of following with Kibler's kind of thing was that Jim and Jim has served as the chair and I've served as the vice chair for 3 years now. So I can understand of kind of breaking out from that.
I would just encourage us to build depth, sort of a folks that can transition in and out. I have served, and Jim has served, Kevin served, and so I think maybe we can, move us along and then bring somebody else new and give somebody else a chance to put their stamp on it. I think, and I think as the only person in the room who was there, I do think, although one of our previous chairs was great and did a really great job, I think we got a little stagnated having the same chair multiple years, year after year after year, having the same person in that seat. So I would like us to encourage all of the members to step up and take their turns as chair and vice chair. That's my pitch.
I think we should vote next week, though. I mean, the next meeting instead of, no.
Yep, there's a motion, so.
So why don't we go ahead and do the vote on whether or not to do it next meeting or not? And then depending on that, then we can go on either doing an election tonight or doing it at the next meeting.
Yeah, so the motion is,
So the motion-
on the table.
The motion on the table is to hold the
Yeah.
vote at the December meeting.
Yep, so you need to call.
So all in favor of holding the vote at the December meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All against that, please say nay.
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 Nay. Okay, so then we're holding the vote tonight.
Did you vote? Wait,
Oh,
you're,
can't hear you, Kimberly.
Kim, turn on your speaker, please.
Thank
Wait,
you.
wait, wait. Did Ed just vote against his own motion?
Yes, he did.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, want to make sure I understood what
Okay,
was.
so
on.
it sounds like we're holding the vote tonight.
Okay,
Okay.
Who voted yes?
it was, yeah, let's do a raise of hands if you voted. So the motion was to hold till December 7th. All
Right.
those in favor, raise your hand.
Okay,
Okay, so two,
opposed?
yep.
We've got.
Yeah, everybody
I-
You get to
I'm
vote.
good.
You get to vote too.
Yeah. So far, I've got.
So opposed, can you do it again? Sorry.
Okay,
we can make sure.
let's roll it one more time. All in favor, please raise your hand.
In favor of what now?
In favor of voting
Clarify.
in December.
Okay,
So we've got 2, 3, all in favor of voting against doing tonight, basically.
Yep.
Because that's the other option. All in favor of voting this evening, please raise your hand. So we've got,
And what's your vote?
fine.
You have to record a vote for everybody.
Did
We gotta
okay,
keep doing this.
okay.
Yeah, until everybody votes.
I guess I lean till next meeting, just partly for people to get to know each other better. That's my.
So we have a 3-3, is that the issue?
Is it 3-3? 1, 2, 3, 4,
But there
5.
are seven.
No, we have an odd number of people here.
The motion carried, I believe.
To wait till December.
Yeah.
It was-
Yes, that's
it was
right.
3 to
Yeah,
2
it
In
was,
favor of.
there's 7 people, so it
Hang
could
it
be.
till
But I don't have
December.
7 votes.
Okay, so we'll go back through. So
Can we just
Commissioner
roll call,
Getz.
please?
Kimberly was to wait.
Let's votes I vote in December.
Okay. Kev and Ed voted for December, Bonnie voted for December and I did, so that's 4.
And Gary. Yeah. You got everybody? Okay, thank you. All right,
Did you vote? Okay.
yeah. She did. Oh my goodness. Okay, so,
It was your vote that-
we're gonna move on to the vice chair. At this time, would anyone like to submit a nomination for the vice chair? No motion, just nomination.
I would nominate this guy over here for the vice chair.
Do you accept the nomination?
I do.
For vice chair? Okay. Are there any other nominations?
I move that the decision to choose the vice chair will be delayed until December 17, because that's what you did with the chair.
Well, let's just see if we have any, I just need to know if there's any other
Yeah,
nominations. too.
nominations at this
Um,
point.
Point of order, who was nominated?
Yeah,
Kevin.
Kevin.
But
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
What do you mean I can't do that?
You're already Kevin is already nominated for a sitting position. He can't sit for both chair and vice chair at the same election.
He could be nominated for it contingent on him not winning the chair position.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I don't
he
think
could-
that's what Robert's rules
Yeah,
says, but okay.
I like this
I mean,
convoluted position.
Yeah.
You don't have to take nominations. We have a motion, right? We have a motion on the floor. Do we need a second or it dies?
Oh, I didn't know there was a motion.
Dave, Commissioner Shipley made a
Oh.
motion.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
I was still
No
doing
question,
nominations.
just, no, you have a motion on the table.
Right.
Get back to that.
Oh, okay.
You had a motion out there to hold off on the vice chair
Okay.
nominations, I guess,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Well, these two people have already been nominated to be chair. That has been delayed until December 17. To choose a vice chair tonight, especially with Kevin, doesn't make any sense to me. So my motion was to delay the election of chair and vice chair until December 17. I believe that's the date of the next meeting. am I correct?
Right, yeah, right.
That's right.
Okay.
I'd second that.
That'll be good. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we'll wait on the nomination and vote until December.
Great, sounds good.
Okay.
We're gonna make a comment like, what are we voting for again?
So,
That was
doesn't look
interesting.
like we've got anybody from Lacey Historical Society tonight, okay? Kimberly, I have a suspicion I know what this report's gonna be, but Policy Steps Committee,
Is on hiatus.
okay. Do you wanna go ahead and give us any other report you wanna put in?
I don't have anything else to report this month, but thank you for asking.
Okay. Let's see, let's go ahead and work our way around then. So David, do you have anything you want to report for this month?
I enjoyed my evening.
Okay, good. Ed?
I enjoyed the new members.
Gary?
Nothing to report.
Okay, Kevin?
Just for the second year in a row, wishing everybody a happy National Geographic Information Systems Professionals Day.
Goodness.
You guys could report that you've been doing a lot of work on the maps. Funny. Okay. And then as chair, I don't have a whole lot to report myself this month. Like I said, I'm gonna be meeting with John Halverson here at the end of the week to talk a little bit about Lacey Historical Society and see if there's any coordination we want to be doing with them as we're going forward, because they have their meeting into early December. So if I get learn something about that, I'll bring it back to the December meeting. Okay, so I think Jen, you're up for the next two.
Okay. Notes here. Yes, so the museum curator wanted to remind everybody of the museum move. I know I've talked about this a little bit already, but it's just really exciting to see it coming together. And so we really want to give a shout out to our facilities crew. They have been super helpful in not only helping us move items, but also installing some of the exhibits and building pedestals and just the list goes on. So super, super, super appreciate all their efforts. And we really just couldn't have done it without them. But like I said, we're scheduling the free private preview tours throughout the month of December. So those actually begin on the 4th, the day after Historical Commission's tour. People who are interested can go to our website, click on the register button. And then we also actually have an official opening date. That's January 15th. So keep that on your calendars. We are going to have a grand opening celebration later, most likely in the spring. But we want to make sure that we get opened up to the public with regular hours. So again, that's coming January 15th. She also reports that last week, our November history talk with David Nicandri on the Northwest Passage had about 40 participants. Coming up in December, we're super excited for this one. Kyle.
Include people on Zoom.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't. He had about 140.
140?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
There's quite a few. I was on Zoom and I think it would be more than 40 total.
okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many you've got on Zoom.
Yeah, we typically our numbers report a combination of both, but
I was thinking it was
we can
on-
check on that. We can definitely check on that. But the next one we're very excited for. Kyle Pittman is a faculty member at the Evergreen State College. He's of Nez Perce and Yakima descent and grew up in the Puyallup Reservation. And so his presentation on tribal sovereignty and federal Indian policy will be on December 18th at 6:30 p.m.
18th. Okay.
December 18th,
What time again?
6:30.
Is he from Humanities of Washington?
And that is here in the council chambers, or as you stated, online. You can always join them online. So
Is he from Humanities of Washington?
I don't have that in my notes. All right, and then the next thing, we just wanted to look at the 2026 meeting schedule. And so we put it into your packet. Real quick here. As you know, your meetings are the third Wednesday of every month. A question is whether you want to meet in January because of the joint historical commission city council work session being on the 13th. It would mean that your meeting would be January 21st, so it would be just over a week apart. There have been years where we have canceled the regular meeting, just to make it easier for folks to attend the joint work session. So that's a question we have.
I would think you would cancel the meeting unless something urgency needed to be approved by the Historic Commission.
And we could make that decision at the December meeting since we have one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If something needs to be approved for whatever reason,
Right.
you would have the meeting.
I'll bring up your schedule here. Yeah, so like I said, the council joint work session is the 13th and then your regular meeting is the 21st. So essentially, we wouldn't schedule anything that needed to be approved if you all did not want to have two meetings in 1 month.
Okay, so when
Oh,
we
so
get
you're
together with city council on what date again? The
Tuesday, the
13th?
13th, yep. And so this is the meeting we're asking you about if you want to hold a January meeting or not.
Which day?
Yeah, you just need to let us know and we'll just update the schedule, so. Okay.
Sharing that we historically canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, historically we do, unless we know that there's something that's needed, which
Why
there
did
hasn't
you
been.
just get down there? What did you say? The 13th or?
Yeah, it's right there,
December-
January
oh,
13th.
January.
There's lots up there. That's the point. I don't know what you're talking about.
January 13th.
January
The
13th,
joint
what
work
is that?
session, yep,
But
and
the-
then your regular meeting is the 21st. Typically, we cancel the January one.
Right.
So if you would like to do that, then we will update this schedule and get it sent out to you. There's no official action needed.
That would be good.
So I just need to know.
I think we're okay with, I mean,
Yeah.
just following the historic precedent
Right.
of the historic commission.
And then the rest of the schedule, so it looks like in May, sometimes we will actually cancel that one as well, because we have the Lacey's History Month and the award.
Yeah, it depends on when we actually get on their agenda.
Okay, great. We'll get that updated for you. And that's all I had on that one. Oh, director report is next, and that's me as well. So like I said earlier, we do provide an update for the whole department, broken down by each division in our department. So there's a lot of information in your packet. I'll hit some real high points. But this is kind of a way for you to have a broader context and insight into the work that our department does as a whole. Let me just get to my notes here real quick. Yeah, so a lot of great programs happening in the aquatics arena. We launched 3 new swim lessons programs. We're expanding offerings to more of the younger littles, mom and me. In the special event arena, we had record attendance at our July 3rd celebration. We had over 40,000 people at Rainier Vista Park. And that includes nearly 2,000 people that live over 50 miles away. So we know that people are traveling for these types of events. In community recreation, we had another great summer with some free programs for kids. Nearly 700 kids participating in our free Playground Pals program. And then over the summer, we averaged 190 kids per week in our regular day camp program. Facilities and rentals, the community center and the Jacob Smith House hosted 70 private banquets and 77 individual meetings. Just kind of some stats for you there. We also host recreation programs 53 out of the 92 days from July through September at those facilities. Picnic shelter rentals were the highest we've ever had. The Regional Athletic Complex hosted 13 baseball and softball tournaments, and then many other events as well. The Regional Athletic Complex not only serves community groups, but also brings in about $13 million of economic impact to local businesses. So that's of note. In our front desk and customer service arena, our staff oversaw a successful fall registration, made webpage edits for events as we transitioned from the summer season into fall and winter, and continued working on creating trail maps of various Lacey parks. Gary might know something about that. I've heard it. Marketing and metrics, our social media and newsletter numbers are growing, so we're getting better outreach to folks in Lacey and beyond. And then the museum, we hosted Lacey Museum's Great Lacey Adventure Scavenger Hunt. You'll probably recall that in July. And then we had Art Rocks, the community rock painting event in August. And of course, launched the Fall History Talk season, which we are currently in. In Parks Planning and Development, we are excited that our new Greg Cuyo Park is going to be opening here hopefully next month. But there's great progress that's been made there. And then the Woodland Creek Park Bridge replacement project was actually just completed. And so that's been a project that's been a long time in the making as well. So yeah, so just providing you that.
Did you go back to the trail? Is that a map you're producing?
Yeah.
What you said?
Yep, so yeah, so one of the things that we have, it's been a long time need, is that we have so many trails in Lacey, and it's just getting the word out to people, and we know that people want access to that information. So so yeah, actually Carter's been heading up that project, and
How come we don't have it?
huh?
Why don't we get the maps?
It's not done yet.
It's not done yet.
No.
Yeah, it's in the works,
He's too slow.
Oh,
Oh, gosh.
I thought we were giving them out and we weren't getting them. I didn't like.
No, it's in progress. Yeah.
Everyone got it except you, Ed.
Yeah.
And we're just really excited about it because it's something that we've needed for a really long time. And yeah, thanks to Carter's efforts and actually Gary, they've been working together. So thank you for that.
Any archaeological site found on the trails?
Not that I'm aware of.
Aha.
All right, and then I just have one last little report for you, which is the budget. So we're obviously moving toward 2026 budget approval by the city council. That is scheduled for the December 16th meeting, which is what they typically do, is approve the budget at their very last meeting of the year. And so the city manager has proposed a balanced budget to them, and included in the 2026 budget is the museum's operating budget of $435,517. We made 3 requests for program improvements. One was a $5,000 request for museum store inventory so that we can sell items at the museum once we're ready and we have our retail policy and merchandise all up and running. That was approved. We submitted a $5,000 interpretive marker for Home and Park that we had kind of touched on before. That was approved. And then we do have a TBD potential fundraising strategy amount for a future contract for museum focused fundraising. And then that contract would include revenue requirements that would, recoup the cost. So we don't currently have, there's no exact timeline for that or exact dollar amount. So that's something that we'll be working on, but it's something that's supported in the budget, so. That's my report.
Okay,
Back to you.
so, with that, I got some great questions. Is there anything else that we need to discuss for the good of the order? Hearing nothing, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any opposed? So we'll all see you in December.
Bunch in September, I mean.
And we'll